Welcome to Transforming Vans. I'm Alan Klein with Vandoit, and our guest today is Ted Vandoit. Hey, Ted.
Hey, Alan.
Tell us what your role is at Vandoit.
I have several roles. I work with commercial some, also work on the adventure van side, also help with customer relations. So, that old saying, jack of all trades and good at none. I hope that's not my description, but do a lot of different things.
You do a lot with commercial builds, commercial vans.
Yep.
When we say commercial vans, what are we referring to? What does that mean?
Well, I've got to backtrack just a little bit. We started Vandoit doing the adventure van, and a lot of that technology with the batteries, the charging, the mobility, the modularity, all those were things that we did with the adventure van. But as you know, we've done fleet with Vandoit, with Klein Corporation for several years. So it was just kind of it made sense to transition into the commercial side, which is behavioral health vans, mobile command, drone operation vans, mobile offices, mobile medical vans. So the technology from the adventure van side segue very well into that, because you need the same capabilities with charging, with modularity, with power. So it just allowed us to move into the commercial side with doing the things that we've already been doing and proven that we can do a great job at.
So if I'm hearing you right, commercial essentially means mobile service of any kind.
Exactly.
Using the van for organizational or business purposes of any
Yes.
kind. Cool.
And there's been some of those kind of services in the past, but typically they were, the big RV type vans, or, I'm sure a lot of people seen the big mobile command type vehicles. But with the size of ours, building off the Ford Transit, as I mentioned earlier, the mobility, the modularity really sets us apart with being able to provide something that really isn't out there on the market.
I remember it was back probably in 2020, I was working with Salvation Army. They had those mobile, whenever there was a natural disaster, there needed to be a mobile comms van. So they could essentially, all the phone lines are down and everything, but they needed a place, a headquarters, to be able to navigate natural disasters and help people out, get them food and shelter and logistics. So I think that is a one really cool application that I've seen with commercial. One of our clients.
Yes, for sure.
So what sets our commercial vans apart from other builds?
Well, when I'm talking to people explaining the commercial type vans, it's really three things: the mobility, the modularity, and the power. And when I'm talking about mobility, being able to go into a rural neighborhood, or going into areas where the streets aren't so well, or even a urban area where there's a lot of people and stuff. So the mobility of that van, the size of it, being able to go in there, be able to set up quickly. When you're dealing with an emergency response, you've got to get the vehicle in there, get it set up, and it's got to be operating pretty darn quick. So the mobility of that. Also, our vans have all-wheel drive, so it allows them to go into areas with in fields and in places that a big mobile command vehicle or behavioral health vehicle can't go. Also, the modularity of it, being able to, even though we have a basic build, the modules that you can add onto that with, the monitors, the seating, we can have panels where we section off different parts of the van. All of that allows them to build a vehicle that fits exactly what they need to do, and they can be used for multi-purpose. I know several of our police departments, they have a van that they use a lot for drone operations, but they can also, it has the assets in it that they can do, like a mobile command or a mobile communication station. Same thing with the behavioral health. It allows facilities, instead of bringing people into brick and mortar, it actually can take a van out to the public and provide services. And then the last thing, the power, that's one of the most important aspects of it. It really doesn't do any good to have a van out there mobile if you don't have the power to operate it, because there's a lot of situations where, you can't plug the van in, or you can't, run the van to provide the power or whatever, but we have a battery power system, the lithium batteries, that can allow that vehicle to operate really for an extended period of time, and allow them to have the air conditioning, all the electronics, have a good, safe, comfortable environment for their team to work out of. So, those are the three things that really sets us apart and makes us different.
Thanks for sharing that. I had two specific instances in mind whenever you're talking through that. One was, I remember seeing videos of the Mobile Command, the drone van that was taken to like a Walmart parking lot, and they had tons of drones that were in there. They were being charged up, kind of speaking to the power system. The drones were being charged up, and they're actually able to catch people who are stealing things from the Walmart. Able to save the store tons of money just from everyday thievery. And then I also thought of a production company that is in one of our commercial builds, who they travel all across the country doing photo shoots and video shoots, and the number of cameras they have to store up in that van and have charged consistently is pretty amazing. And the vans hold up. So two pretty cool applications. What's an industry or service you think that hasn't really fully realized the capabilities of going mobile?
It's really growing, but I think the behavioral health part of the mobile services is really expanding, really growing. There's a lot of companies out there that want to do that, but they don't have the expertise to do it. And that's one of the things we can do. We've built a lot of vans, so we can bring our expertise to the table to help them figure out what it would look like, what they need, those type of things. But probably that would be the first one that comes to mind, is the behavioral health, doing mobile therapy, those type of things.
Yeah, it's just so cool. The ability to be able to take service and care to people who may not be able to reach it at a brick and mortar is pretty cool. Is there anything else about Vandoit commercial vans you think would be good for our listeners or viewers to know about?
The affordability of the vans. Typically when you're talking huge Mobile Command vehicles, those things can be $500,000, $1 million relatively easy. Our vans are much less than that. You can get a Mobile Command behavioral health van for anywhere from $180,000 to $250,000. There's some less than that, some more than that, depending on the the setup. But it's very affordable, something that a lot of departments can fit into their budget.
That's all we have today for you folks. Make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe based on however you are listening or watching us, and reach out and let us know if there are any topics that you want us to cover regarding Vandoit vans, whether on the adventure or the commercial side. Okay, until next time, cheers.